my name's Karen Hewitt. I'm a life and business coach with a specialty in social media and introverts. Over the last couple of years, we have seen a definite shift in not only how businesses conduct themselves, but how organizations and individuals. And what that means is it opens us up to a whole new branding you in the digital world. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you can brand yourself as an individual, how you can brand your company, and even how you can brand your clubs. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, well, where do I do this? Or what platform do I need to be on? There are so many platforms out there that it can be very overwhelming. Let's see, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have TikTok, we have Clapper, we have Twitter, we have LinkedIn, we have Vimeo, we have, let's see what else we have, WhatsApp. Just the list is non-stop. I think if you were to look out there, there's over 100 different platforms. So let's discuss what platforms you should be on. First, you need to look at what your audience. Where are your audience? Where are they hiding? Where do they look for information? What do they seek? And this can be not only generational, but also tiered into categories such as people who work for certain positions, people in certain age ranges, in certain geographical areas. So if you're doing it for your club, first ask your club members, where are you on social media? What is it that you do? If you're in business, ask your customers, look at your employees, where do they hang out? And then more importantly, where do you spend your time on social media? So let's go over the top 5 social medias really quick and give you an insight to them. I think the first one that always comes to mind for everyone is Facebook, or the meta universe as it is now called. Facebook is a micro blogging site. If you've never heard that term, that's okay. What it is they want you to create stories, communication, and communities. By microblogging, you're telling mini stories. Think of it like a digital table topics, where you actually more have an icebreaker. So anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes is a great content piece. But what they want you to do is create community, create families, create unity within the people that you speak to, which is why you'll often find things like groups for dog lovers or groups for, let's go over a couple of the groups that I'm in, just for funsies. I'm in a couple of dog loving groups, specifically pit bulls. I adore pit bulls. So of course I love looking at all the cute pictures of the, blue noses and everything like that. I'm also into some photography groups because when I see amazing pictures, it just makes my heart and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Then I'm in some funny groups like meme groups because your girl loves a good meme. And then I'm also in astrology groups. Again, I'm building communities where I'm at, things that interest me. So the idea of Facebook is you want to build a community. And for a Toastmasters club, for example, that'd be a community of people who want to grow their speaking ability, they want to put themselves out more, they want to get their story across. Maybe they want to improve language. Maybe English is a second language for them. Maybe they want to improve their vocabulary. Maybe they don't want to feel nervous speaking. These are communities that you would want to speak out to. Then the next one is Instagram. Instagram is what I call a magazine social media. It is all about the pretty picture. It is all about the scroll and go, oh my God, I want to drink that. I want to eat that. I want to be there. I want to do that. So this is a very visual, rather than a storytelling social media like Facebook. Instagram is very visual, think about flicking through a magazine. And what you're looking for is the high visuals, the high content, the things that catch the eye, the caption, even though the caption is important for the comments, for the content, for what people want to respond to, the main thing that draws people in on Instagram is the image. Now, next we have Twitter. Twitter is a very verbal-based platform. It is all about small, quick, concise conversations of 280 characters or less. Now, there is a way to stack them, and that's okay, but you're looking for quick and to the point, very boom and done. And people like to be very opinionated on Twitter. Just a fair warning for you. Then you have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is your professional network. This is where people go to share articles, share information, share education, and also encourage people to do things to improve their careers, their business, their education. So this is a highly professional and more information-packed social media. And finally, we have TikTok. No, TikTok is not all about funny cat videos. There is a lot of education on TikTok, but this, a great way to put TikTok on your feed, for example, is table topics. Do quick table topics and ask people to stitch their answers. That would create a community and have a lot of fun. But it's about how much content can you give someone in 60 seconds or less? How can you get your point across in 60 seconds or less? And just think, how many people struggle with that? Could you help them? So that is a quick rundown of your platforms. Find out where your people are at and then focus on 1 to 2 platforms. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't go for all of them and just focus on 1, 2. Now you're like, okay, so I know what my platforms are. I'm going to pick this platform. But what do I post? When do I post? How do I post? How do I brand myself? You've just told me to pick a platform, but you've given me no details on how to brand myself. No worries. Let's get to that next. So, homework time. I want you to go to your social media, take your phone and take a selfie. With that selfie, you're going to be holding 3 fingers up and you're going to ask your audience, because yes, everyone who is friends with you, watches your profile, they're your audience. So think, I'm going to give it to you in a Toastmaster way. You're up at the podium, that's your social media, your wall is your podium, and everyone around you is your audience. Ask them what 3 things they think of when it comes to you. Kind of scary, I know. But those 3 things, as the platform is the content that you're putting out there, this is how you're getting known. This is your brand. And when you look at those 3 things, you're going to go, do you like that brand or do you not like that brand? If you don't like it, well, guess what? You can change it. And if you do, you go, okay, I'm doing a good job. Me, I'm real, raw, authentic. And I get a lot of people who absolutely love that for me. Now, I do rub some people the wrong way. But those are not the people I work with for my business. My business is all about raw authenticity. But I also find out I'm a mom. I'm into my astrology. I'm a person. I live with a lot of love, light, and hope. So have a look. What is it that you are putting out there? And if someone's like, you always talk about your dog, well, guess what? Your brand is kind of to do with your dog. And that's okay. It's allowed to be that. It's how you put yourself. And if people are like, well, you complain a lot. Then you kind of got to go, oops, do I? Am I that person? Am I the villain? That's a TikTok reference if you wouldn't know. But look at how people are putting out. Then you're going to decide, is this the brand I like? And if it isn't, don't worry, that is okay. The next step in our journey is we're going to look at what things do you want to do. So grab a pen, grab some paper, and I want you to write down all the things that you want to be known for as your brand. I want you to write down if you want to cover certain topics, if you have certain hobbies, certain things in business, certain skills, certain techniques, and other things like that. You may have caught one of my other brand ideas while we have been on this call. If you look, there is something on the back of my phone. It is also on my pen, and it is also on my background, and that is cherry blossoms. Cherry blossoms is very interwoven into my brand. So I have lots of little things that indicate that. So it doesn't have to be your major ones. It can be things that you have in the background, things that you have going on. So once you have that list, and yes, it's probably going to be a very long list because a lot of us, we want to do everything and anything at all times. And if it's your club, well, what's your club known for? How do they do things differently? What things do you cover in your meetings? How do you do table topics? What kind of questions you ask? Is it friendly? Is it professional? You can both be friendly and professional, but some clubs are more business-based and some clubs are more community-based. Do you meet for margaritas before your meeting? What are some of the things that you do that make you stand out? Now you have that list. We're going to go through it and we're going to pick 2 to 3 things that you really, really want to focus on. And what we're going to do is list those at the top of the page. So you're going to take your first one and put it in the left, the second one in the middle, and the third one on the right-hand side of your page. Now we have that. We're going to do some hashtags. Okay. That's really old school. Like, I'm totally showing my age then. I'm sorry. It's a little bit too old school for most social medias right now, but we're going to have fun with it. Your hashtags are kind of like subdirectories, things that are within your topic that you want to be known for. So I'll give you one of my things is I'm very raw and honest and authentic. So what do I talk about in my lives, in my posts, in my information? Well, I do talk about trauma, and I'm very honest about it. So trauma is one of my hashtags. Domestic violence is one of my hashtags because I do talk about my domestic violence history. NLP, because I teach neuro-linguistic programming and it's all mindset. So there's another hashtag. So we're going to use the dog example. One of your things is your dog. Well, what's your dog's name? That can be a hashtag. What breed is your dog? What kind of things do your dog like? Walkies or does talk? Does your dog bark? Does your dog growl? Does your dog talk? There is a talking TikTok talking dog that's taken over social media, specifically on TikTok, called Bunny. She presses buttons and has conversations because each button does a word. So some of her hashtags: talking dog, conversation, speak, bark, words. These are things that relate to what she does. And you're going to go down each list and you're going to come up with every word. And I just want you to brain dump. We're just going to throw it on the paper. And then once you're done, you're going to select the ones that mean the most to you. I could go all into how you're going to do Google Trends, keywords, and everything like that to work on it. But no, this is about being authentic. And I want it to be authentic to you. And as we build and grow, we can do more social media training to really key in those keywords and go into trending and SEO and everything like that. But let's just keep it fun and simple. So we have our platform. We have our content. Because that's what you just did. You came up with your topics, which is your content. Now we're going to go into our purpose. What is the purpose that you have to post in the information you want to do? Is your purpose to build friendships? Is your purpose to build a business? Is your purpose to build a club? Because everything you post should have a reason. Because when you have a reason, you can then take that reason, add something called a CTA or a call to action to have people respond to your posts. You always want to look at every piece of content you post and go, well, why am I posting this? What result do I want to have? Do you want to motivate? Do you want to inspire? Do you want to invite them to a meeting? So always be finding your purpose in your message. So we're going to go back to a meeting example here. You just posted that your club has margarita nights before every meeting. Why? Why do you have margarita? Why do you go? And I'm using this because I do know a club that has had the opportunity to go meet for a margarita after or before the club meeting. It has been called things like post toasties for the afterwards. And it's all about that community. You're not posting because you want to tell them, hey, we go get drunk. You're posting because we're a community. We stick together. We're friends. We have fun together. We learn together. We grow together. So the purpose of this post is not to say, hey, come get some drinks and come get sloshed. The purpose is come find your community. Find your people. Find the people you're going to be friends with. Find the people you can relate to. Let's have conversation. Let's have friendship. Let's grow together. So now you look in this, go, well, I'm going to post this on my platform. It's Facebook. My purpose is to invite people to come to margaritas because I want them to be friends and find it. You know, I always talk about how Toastmasters has helped me be more confident. You know, you can then make a post, which is a really fun selfie picture of you and all your friends there having the post toasties at the bar afterwards and say, oh, I wish you were here. I love that I get to go hang out with my friends after an hour meeting where we have learned, we have laughed, we've had fun, and we have grown together. And what you're doing there is it's not just, hey, come have a drink with us. You're telling them why. You're telling them what's in it for them. You're telling them the fun part of it. And then you can do what's called a call to action. Who wants to come with me next time? You've just invited them to come out for post toasties with you. And when they're like, hey, me, awesome. Hey, let me send you a message with where we're meeting and what time. I'd love to have you come to our Toastmasters. Then we can go and hang out and have drinks afterwards. It'll be so much fun. I cannot wait for you to meet all my friends. How simple was that? So then that leads from your purpose to your positioning. Your position has to be one of strength and of also you are the credible source. One of the things I love to talk about in meetings when we're talking about speaking about others, when we're talking about putting people in the limelight, is we give them the credibility. For example, your Toastmaster of the day. We're giving them the credibility to be in charge of the meeting because they're Toastmaster of the day. You can also do this for yourself. You can do self-credibility. You can talk about things you've achieved, things that you've done, things that you've learned. And you can say, I love that I managed to achieve my DTM, which if you didn't know, it stands for Distinguished Toastmaster. And less than 2% of all Toastmasters actually achieve this award. I am so honored and so proud that I was able to do all these steps. And now I want to help the next person achieve theirs. Guess what? You've just set yourself up with positioning of credibility. You've done the purpose that you want to help other people achieve their DTM. You have done some content that is the reason behind and the exclusivity and the grandeur behind it. And you've told them what it means to you. Now I've given you all this. And the one thing that you will never be able to do with any of this is have success if you don't do the final step. That final step is consistency. You must post consistently on social media. Because if you post and then don't post for 3 months, your social media will do what's called going dark. And especially if you have an organizational or business social media, such as a page, you never want to go dark because the algorithm, which is just a fancy word for the math behind the computer programming, stops showing your content to your viewers, which means you have less conversation, less community, and less growth. So establish how often you are going to post and then stick to it. I know on a lot of platforms in the metaverse, which is Facebook and Instagram, you can go into the business manager and actually schedule all your posts for the next 30 days. Set it once and forget it. Twitter, you can schedule on Twitter. TikTok, you can do drafts. You can't exactly schedule them, but you can do drafts on them and then post them. LinkedIn, you can use a third party to schedule drafts, or you can just go, have them in your notes. I have them in my notes and then go and post them. It's just the easiest way. But have that consistency so you're continually having these conversations. So what was the purpose in this little exercise on social media and branding you in the digital world? The world's changed. We've changed. And gone are the old days of sticking a notice on the notice board and expecting to have complete success. Now, I'm not saying don't put a notice on the, go ahead, put the notice up. You never know who you're going to bring in. But as individuals, we have to remember that what we're branding ourselves as is something that carries through. I make very risque decisions because that branding suits my business. And it makes me successful because I am so raw and authentic. I'm not telling you to be raw and authentic. I'm telling you to be authentic. Always be authentic because there's no one better than you out there in the world. There really isn't for being you. But this is how you are perceived by people. And you always want to make sure that you are attracting your audience. Social media is a very interesting dynamic. And one of my mentors in the marketing world has said, if you're not getting hate, you're not doing it enough. And I know that sounds really harsh and it sounds very off-putting and scary. And people don't want to have bad news and they don't want to hear bad things. And it's horrifying because we're always taught to keep it so everyone's happy with you and people please and keep everything together. But in this world where we can hide behind keyboards, there are so many people that will form digital warrior huts. And what that means is they go out, you're wearing a blue dress. Oh my gosh, you look terrible in blue. But I feel amazing in blue, so it's okay. Don't worry about it. Or they may take something that you stand up for and say, that's no good. Or they may say, well, oh, why would you go to something like that? These people are out there. And you're going to find that your friends and family will always support what you post because they're your friends and family. But that means that you are not getting reach. Reach is when you go beyond your direct audience and have that. People always say going viral. Going viral is not what it's made up to be. It is not all that. It's more about consistent reach. And the more consistent reach you have, the more people you're going to attract. The one, love what you're doing and see what you're doing. But you're also going to get that one or two people that are just a little, cuckoo, a little crazy. And that's okay. Because for every one person that's a little cuckoo and a little crazy, you're getting 10 to 20 more people that are going, oh my gosh, this person inspires me. This person is showing me something I can do and I can achieve. Branding isn't what it used to be. Branding used to be what colors, what logo, what slogan, what subtitle, what leaflet, what flyer, what magazine, what billboard, what website, what digital, what business card. I couldn't even think of the name because I haven't carried business cards in so long because now I just send them a electronic card. People used to think that was branding. Branding is now more about your character. Branding is now about what you stand for and your ethics and your integrity. And I want you to have the integrity to be yourself, be honest, authentic, real, and true to yourself, and be able to grow because people see your heart and who you are over what the wall or the poster board or the filtered selfie that you have put up. Because each of you are amazing individuals, have this opportunity to shine so bright. And the same goes for your clubs. Your clubs are not cookie cutter. You don't go into one Toastmasters club and be like, oh, I've been to them all. Think about it. Even forever, we've always told people, visit many clubs because you'll never find out which one you will like the best until you visit them all. And even though we have certain things that are kept the same for quality, we have certain things that are kept the same for systems and procedures. Your environment and the people you are around are totally different. And somebody may find that they prefer to be in a club where everything is very specifically structured to one way. Others may want to be in a club where it's, oh, we get to have a whole meeting about table topics and be completely impromptu the entire meeting. They're like, oh my gosh, that is the best thing ever. And then you look at another Toastmaster and say, then they're going to go, you've just described my worst nightmare. This is about being authentically you and growing. And I want to encourage you to embrace social media for your clubs and for yourself, because this is a communication standard that is not going away. This is something that's going to be around for a very long time, and this will give you the opportunity to grow and just make so many more connections. And you never know which one of those connections is going to be the next one that it becomes a business partner, a client, or shows up to your Toastmasters meeting. If you have any questions on how to grow your social media or how to brand yourself in the digital world, feel free to reach out to me by email at karen@blossomtosuccess.com. I cannot wait to see how you express yourself, how you become raw, authentic, true to yourself, and how you elevate your club's community presence on social media in the coming weeks. Thank you and have a great day and enjoy the rest of the conference.